So Arsenal fans, welcome back to the channel. This could be one of the biggest striker developments of the entire summer, because Mikel Arteta and Arsenal are now facing a fascinating choice between two world-class forwards, Victor Osimhen and Julian Alvarez, and the latest reports have taken this situation to another level. According to reports emerging around Arsenal's pursuit of Victor Osimhen, Mikel Arteta has personally spoken with the Nigerian striker by phone, with the Arsenal manager making it clear that he wants Osimhen at the Emirates. The conversation is being described as positive, with Osimhen reportedly responding in an encouraging manner. However, it is important to stress that the specific phone call claim has not been independently confirmed by the most authoritative sources yet. What is clear is that Arsenal's interest in Osimhen is genuine and has intensified significantly in recent days. And this is where things become extremely interesting, because while Arsenal are pushing toward Osimhen, the name of Julian Alvarez has not disappeared from the club's plans. In fact, Ben Jacobs has recently discussed the Alvarez situation and Arsenal's continued interest, with reports indicating that the Gunners still regard the Argentine as an exceptional option for their attack. Jacobs has previously suggested that if Arsenal receive positive signals regarding Alvarez, they would seriously consider making their move. So Arsenal appear to have two major routes: Victor Osimhen, Julian Alvarez, two elite strikers, two completely different transfer situations, and Arsenal may have to decide which opportunity is realistic before the summer window closes. Let's start with Osimhen. The Nigerian superstar is currently with Galatasaray after making his permanent move to the Turkish club, and he remains one of the most feared number 9s in European football. His physical power, explosive pace, movement behind the defensive line, and ruthless finishing make him exactly the type of striker Arsenal have been searching for. The Gunners have already been linked with discussions involving Galatasaray. Sky Sports reported that Osimhen's availability had been raised between Arsenal and Galatasaray during discussions involving the Turkish club's interest in Arsenal players Gabriel Martinelli and Ethan Nwaneri. That is significant because it shows this is no longer simply a social media rumour. Osimhen's name has entered genuine transfer discussions surrounding Arsenal. There have also been reports suggesting Arsenal could potentially explore a deal in the region of £60 million, although the exact valuation remains disputed and should not be treated as a confirmed asking price. And there is another fascinating twist. Galatasaray have publicly pushed back against suggestions that Osimhen is easily available. Reports have indicated that Galatasaray president Dursun Özbek has insisted the club does not want to sell the striker this summer, meaning Arsenal could face a serious negotiation if they decide to make a formal approach. So even if Arsenal can convince Osimhen, convincing Galatasaray could be an entirely different battle. But from Arsenal's perspective, there is one huge advantage. The player appears to be open to the possibility of leaving. Recent reports have highlighted Osimhen refusing to completely rule out a departure from Galatasaray, while other reports have described his latest comments as a possible indication that the door remains open for a move this summer. That is exactly why Arteta's reported involvement is so interesting. If the Arsenal manager really has spoken directly with Osimhen and explained the project, this could be an attempt to win the player before Arsenal intensify negotiations with Galatasaray. Arteta knows exactly what he wants from his centre-forward. He wants aggression, he wants goals, he wants a striker who can attack crosses, stretch defensive lines, and create chaos inside the penalty area. And Osimhen fits that profile almost perfectly. But Arsenal have another option, and arguably, this is the more complicated one. Julian Alvarez. The Argentine World Cup winner has been on Arsenal's radar for a considerable period, and the Gunners have already been linked with an ambitious attempt to bring him from Atlético Madrid. Earlier reporting described Alvarez as a priority centre-forward target for Arsenal, with the club pushing to explore the possibility of signing him. The problem is Atlético Madrid. Atlético have made it extremely clear that Alvarez is not a player they want to lose, and that stance has become even stronger because Barcelona have also been pursuing the Argentine. Atlético Madrid manager Diego Simeone has recently stated that the club will not sell Alvarez amid Barcelona's interest, underlining just how difficult a transfer could be. Recent reporting has specifically described Arsenal as prioritising Alvarez over Osimhen, while Osimhen is being considered as the alternative if Arsenal cannot get their first-choice target. That means the next few weeks could become a direct battle between two enormous transfer operations. Option 1. Julian Alvarez. Arsenal continue negotiations and attempt to convince Atlético Madrid to sell. Arteta personally sells the project to the player. Arsenal present their ambitions, and the Gunners attempt to find a financial package capable of satisfying Atletico. Option 2. Victor Osimhen. If Atletico refuse to negotiate reasonably, or the Alvarez price becomes unrealistic, Arsenal could turn their attention towards Osimhen and attempt to reach an agreement with Galatasaray. But even Osimhen is not going to be straightforward. Galatasaray have reportedly warned Arsenal about their position, with club president Dursun Özbek indicating that Osimhen is not simply available for a cheap deal. That means Arsenal are potentially facing two huge negotiations for two elite strikers. And this is why the situation should not be described as Arsenal simply choosing between two random targets. The club appears to have a clear hierarchy. Alvarez is the dream. Osimhen is the powerful alternative. The objective is the same. Arsenal want another world-class attacking weapon. The timing is also extremely important. With the transfer window moving towards its final stages, Arsenal cannot spend forever waiting for Atlético Madrid to make a decision. If Alvarez becomes available at a realistic price, Arsenal will have to move quickly. If the Spanish club refuses to compromise, Arsenal need another solution ready to go. That is where Osimhen becomes extremely important. Interestingly, the Osimhen situation has already become connected to Arsenal's wider transfer activity. Arsenal have reportedly discussed Osimhen with Galatasaray during conversations that also involve Arsenal players Gabriel Martinelli and Ethan Nwaneri. So there could potentially be multiple layers to the negotiations. For Arsenal supporters, the biggest question now is simple. Who will Arteta get? Will it be Julián Álvarez, the technically brilliant Argentine forward who appears to be Arsenal's preferred target? Or will Arsenal make the blockbuster move for Victor Osimhen and bring one of the most physically dominant strikers in European football to the Emirates? At this stage, Álvarez appears to be ahead. The latest reports continue to put Arsenal in the race, while Barcelona's pursuit has also faced difficulties, potentially giving the Gunners more room to maneuver. But Arsenal supporters should remain cautious with the word confirmed. There is a difference between Arsenal actively pursuing a player, the player being interested in a move, and a completed agreement between the clubs. As of today, there is no official announcement confirming that Alvarez has agreed to join Arsenal or that Atlético Madrid have accepted an Arsenal bid. What we can say is that the pressure is increasing. Arsenal want a striker. Alvarez remains the preferred target. Osimhen is being discussed as the alternative, and Mikel Arteta appears determined to make sure the Gunners do not finish the window without adding another elite attacking option. Imagine the possibilities. Julián Álvarez leading the line at the Emirates, combining with Bukayo Saka, Martin Ødegaard and Arsenal's creative players. Or Victor Osimhen attacking crosses, running behind Premier League defenders and bringing the kind of explosive physical presence that can completely change the way Arsenal attack. Either signing would send a huge message. And that is ultimately what this transfer race is about. Arsenal have already shown that they are prepared to spend heavily to build a squad capable of competing for the biggest trophies. Now, Arteta wants the final attacking piece that can take this team to another level. The message coming out of the transfer operation is therefore becoming increasingly clear. Julián Álvarez first. Victor Osimhen if Álvarez cannot be done. One of these two superstars could become Arsenal's next major attacking signing, and if the latest reports about Arteta's direct approach to Álvarez prove accurate, the Arsenal manager may now be taking matters personally. The question is no longer whether Arsenal want an elite striker. They clearly do. The question is, which superstar will be wearing the red and white when the transfer window closes? Álvarez or Osimhen? Arsenal fans may not have to wait much longer for the answer.